So far in this title, we've really been focused on the design of our publications. So when we go to create a new publication, for example, we've got categories to choose from, we make a selection, and the design and layout is there for us, and we can manipulate that. But what about those objects that appear in an actual publication? The content. Well, we can design that as well, and we can manipulate some designs that are already created from us. They exist in something called the Design Gallery. And that's what we're going to talk about now. The Design Gallery contains all kinds of objects that we can use, borrow, and manipulate so that they're exactly what we need them to be, and then reuse them as we need them. So the Design Gallery appears on our Objects toolbar, but just before we access the Design Gallery, let's start a brand new blank publication. We'll go up to the first button here on your toolbar. Click the New button to start a new blank publication. This will make it easy to see what we insert from the Design Gallery. The Design Gallery button is the second last one here in the Objects toolbar, so we give that a click and look at our Design Gallery. It appears here, and you can see Accent Box is showing up at the top as selected, and here's an alphabetical listing of categories. And you can see here I've got some buttons and so on. I've got an accessory bar category. This would be probably very handy when designing web pages. Get some cool designs that I can manipulate. Advertisements. We know we can create a publication that is an advertisement, but what if we wanted to slip an advertisement into another type of publication? Well, here's where we go to get some of those advertisements, and then we go in and change the content of the advertisement that will appear inside of our publication. Attention getters, same idea. Create borders and manipulate them and bring them into a publication. Calendars. We know we can create a brand new publication that is a calendar, or we can take a calendar and put it into an existing publication as well, thanks to this Design Gallery. You can see there's quite a few others. There's coupons, logos, marquees and mastheads, all kinds of stuff to choose from, like table of contents. That's a handy one as well. We're going to go up here to logos. When you click on logos, you're going to see your current design. So if you are a premium subscriber and you've downloaded the logo that's provided to you in the exercise files into your business information, you've been using it and following along, it shows up here as a current design. But there's additional designs down below. Now each of these uses placeholders, a placeholder for the logo and a placeholder for text. So for example, if I like this layout here called Open Oval and I click on it, I can come up here to the options pane and choose whether or not to include an actual image, a picture for a logo. And if I choose none, look what happens down below. Those little images disappear from each of the additional designs down here. If I want to include a picture, the placeholder reappears in each one of these logos. Then I can choose how many lines of text I want. Right now 1 is the default, so I'm seeing the word organization showing up in each of these. And that's my 1 line of text. Obviously, it's text I'm going to change to the actual name of my organization, but I can have 2 lines or even 3 lines if I wanted to. I'm going to go back to 1, so give that a click. So it's just 1 line and a picture. With Open Oval selected, we'll insert the object, and when we click this button, it gets inserted into our blank publication. Now I'm going to zoom into it with my Zoom In button here. I'm going to zoom in to, let's go to 150%. So this is the image that's created for us from the Design Gallery, but we can go in here and make some changes, like to the text, for example. We click on the word organization and we just type in our text. Eat cake patisserie. And you can see as I run out of space, it readjusts the font size so it all fits on this 1 line. Now what about the logo or the picture itself? Now when I click on that, notice the picture toolbar shows up. And I can insert a picture or go get one from a scanner or a camera. And then, of course, I can do all of those changes if I want to a picture, something we covered in an earlier lesson. So that would be a review. But let's go over to the Insert Picture button here on our picture toolbar. We'll navigate to our Lesson 9 folder of our exercise files. And there's our cake logo right there. So we'll give it a click and click Insert. and you can see it replaces the selected picture. Now I can click on that again. If it needs to be a little bit bigger, I would have to do some editing to it using my picture toolbar. If I wanted to change the brightness and the contrast or the color, I could do all of that too, because it's treated as a picture, and the picture toolbar has all the tools I might need to make those changes. But I like it just the way it is, so I'm going to deselect by clicking outside of the finished logo. And this whole logo here now has been modified to contain the Eat Cake logo or picture with the Eat Cake Patisserie text showing up right there. So I've used the design gallery as a head start to create this cool looking logo. Now later on in this section we're going to be talking about the content library, and this would be something that I would want to add to the content library so I can reuse it over and over. Now if this is a logo that I want to save, well, I could use this in my business information, for example, so that by adding it to the business info, it'll show up wherever I choose a template that contains my logo, just the way you see it here. So we'll talk about the content library a little bit later on, but let's continue on with modifying the designs of our publication.